Australian boy detained in Bali airport. Police accuse boy of stealing watches from duty-free. An Australian teenager who was arrested after being accused of stealing 2 luxury watches in Bali's international airport has been detained by Indonesian police. The 17-year-old boy, from Mermaid Waters on the Gold Coast, was arrested at 2 p.m. Saturday, just before he was set to board a Jetstar flight from Bali to Brisbane, according to the Courier Mail. Footage shows the boy being questioned at Denpasar police station after he was accused of stealing 2 watches valued from $950 to $1,200 at the airport's duty-free store. The video shows the boy, wearing Gucci thongs and blue footy shorts, talking to an Indonesian police officer next to a man understood to be the boy's father. The teenage boy is currently being detained in an isolated room at the Bali police station, instead of prison, because he is a minor. The footage then pans to the boy sitting on a wooden bench in isolation outside the police interrogation room. The bench and floor around him can be seen strewn with his clothes, bags and a bottle of water. A spokesman from the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, DFAT, told Daily Mail Australia on Monday that they are providing consular assistance to the teenager. The Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade is providing consular assistance to an Australian youth detained in Bali, Indonesia. Due to privacy obligations, we are unable to provide further information. He was reportedly with his stepbrother when he was arrested in the airport on Saturday. The boy's parents have stayed behind and rescheduled their trip back to Australia. A lawyer is assisting the teen, who is believed to be with his father and stepmother. Lawyer Putu Angga Pratama Sukma told News Corp the teenager was crying and promised not to do the same thing again. In Indonesia, a case with a child as a perpetrator, the case is attempted to finish without court, he said. We call it diversion. It's kind of like mediation. Police will encourage the victim to revoke the report and forgive the perpetrator, he continued. Brendan Luke Johnson, 43. Brendan Johnson was arrested after allegedly using and trafficking cocaine on the resort island of Kuta in Bali. Police allege they found 11.6 grams of cocaine packed into 13 plastic bags worth about $3,000. He was arrested by Indonesian authorities on August 4 and faces up to 20 years in prison if convicted. Joshua James Baker, 32. Joshua Baker was arrested after arriving at Ngurah Airport with 28 grams of marijuana, tobacco and close to 40 pills of diazepam last October. He faced up to 15 years in jail if he was convicted of drug possession. During his trial in March, he was found guilty of illegally using a Category 1 narcotic for personal consumption and possession of psychotropic drugs, ABC reports. Baker dodged prison and was sentenced to spend 10 months in rehabilitation. Isaac Emmanuel Roberts, 35. Isaac Roberts was arrested at Bali's international airport with 14.3 grams of crystal methamphetamine and 14 ecstasy tablets after arriving from Bangkok on December 4. Roberts was sentenced to 15 months of rehabilitation for drug offenses in April. People have taken to social media slamming the 17-year-old Australian for allegedly stealing in a foreign country. Pay for your crime. No excuses, one man said. He needs a good life lesson. Punish him hard. Australia is too soft on petty crime and it leads to larger, more serious crime, another said. The boy is being held at the same police station as Queenslander Brendan Johnson, who is facing drug dealing charges. Last week, the 43-year-old was arrested in his Kota home after police allegedly found 12 grams of cocaine worth about $3,000 in the raid. If found guilty, Johnson faces a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison under Indonesian law.